Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be discussing about earth slips or landslides. Okay. In Sinhala we call this as Nayayama. Okay. So now they have given us a definition for landslides. Now let's see the definition. Sliding of a large portion of the earth located at a higher elevation downwards along a slope with rock boulders, gravel and soil lumps. Okay, this is called as a landslide. Okay, now let's see this diagram. See, sliding of a large portion of the earth. Okay, so a large portion of the earth, okay, basically soil, rock particles, gravel, they come downwards, which originally were located in a higher elevation. Basically in their original location they were in a higher elevation. Okay, so with the time, due to various reasons, this large portion of earth come downwards. Okay, it come downwards along a slope with rock boulders, gravel and soil lumps. Okay, this is what we called as a landslide. Okay, so this is a diagram which is given for you to understand as to what a landslide is. Okay, so if you are living in wet zone, perhaps in Ratnapura, Hatton, Kandy area, you may have seen landslides by your own eyes. See, this is another diagram, another picture where you can see an area where a landslide has occurred. Okay, so you can see some tea trees cultivated there, and here this huge rock or soil particles have come down towards the main road. Okay, so පුතාලා මේ ඉහළ ප්‍රදේශයක තියෙන පස් කොටසක් විවිධ හේතුන් නිසා, අපි හේතුන් පස්සේ කතා කරනවා. හේතුන් නිසා පහළට කඩාගෙන එනවා. Okay, ඒ මේ විශාල පස් කන්දක්, පස් කුට්ටියක් මේ විදිහට පහළට කඩාගෙන එනවා. ගල්, බොරළු, මැටි පස් මේ හැමදේමත් එක්ක පහළට කඩාගෙන වැටෙන මේ සිද්ධියට තමයි අපි නාය යෑමක් කියලා කියන්නේ. මේ ඩයග්‍රෑම් එකේ ඔයා දකින්නේ ඒ වගේ අවස්ථාවක්. හරි. So now let's see as to how an earth slip occur. Yes, there are some reasons. So obviously this is a common disaster in Sri Lanka. Okay, so the people in wet zone, they experience earth slides very frequently because this is a common disaster. Natural process, this is a natural process, but human activities influence to a greater extent. Okay, obviously this is a natural process, this is a natural occurrence, but for this occurrence human activities influence up to a very greater extent. Okay, now let's see the reasons. Okay, first one, incessant rain. What's incessant rain? Incessant rain as in when it rains for a longer period of time without it being stopped. Okay, so then that is called incessant rain. එක දිගටම වැස්ස වහිනවා නම්. Okay, lands with steep slope. Okay, if there's a steep slope like this, see, there's a steep slope in this diagram, in this area. Okay, so when there's a steep slope and when it rains heavily, and another reason, natural cause, is existence of weathered rock particles. Weathered rock particles, as it's given in this diagram, see, this rock is already divided into some particles. Okay, it's weathered. So if such a rock is there, then there's more possibility for this to convert into a landslide. Okay, and soil erosion. Okay, that's another reason. Okay, so these are the reasons, natural reasons. Okay, not the human activities, but natural causes that could occur landslides. Now let's move on to human activities. These are the main reasons that occur landslides, that cause landslides in Sri Lanka as well. First one, setting fire to forests in mountainous areas. Okay? So when we set fire to forests in mountain areas, and when we cut trees, then also it can cause landslides. How does it cause landslides? Now basically when trees are there, trees have roots. Okay, so when these roots are there in mountain areas, they keep the soil particles stuck together. Okay, they don't make them loosened. Okay, so when trees are there, when roots are there, they protect the soil from being sloping or going downwards. They prevent it. Okay. So what happens when we cut trees? Obviously, these trees obviously they die. Then these roots of these trees don't function properly. Then it will cause landslides. ඒ කියන්නේ පුතාලා සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් දැන් අපි ගස් කියන කඳු වගේ ආශ්‍රිතව ගස්වැල් තියෙනකොට මේ ගස්වල මුල් තියෙනවා. මේ මුල් පස් අතරෙන් ගොඩාක් තදට ඒගොල්ලෝ ගස වර්ධනය වෙනවත් එක්කම මේ ගසේ තියෙන මුල් පස තුළ විහිදිලා යනවා. එතකොට අපි ගස් කපනකොට අපි නැත්තම් මේ ගස් ගිනි තියනකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේ ගස් මැරෙනවා. ගස්වල මුල් වලින් අර පස් එයාලා තදට අල්ලගෙන ඉන්න එක අඩු වෙනවා. හරි? ඒ තදට අල්ලගෙන ඉන්න එක අඩු වෙනකොට පස්වල තියෙන මේ තද ගතිය අඩු වෙලා එයාලා ගැලවිලා පහළට යන්න බලනවා. ඕකේ ඒක හිතන්න එහෙම අවස්ථාවක වැස්සක් තදට වැටෙනවා නම් පසුත් දැන් අර ලූස් වෙලා නම් තියෙන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් ඒ අවස්ථාවකදී ලෑන්ඩ්ස්ලයිඩ් එකක් වෙන්න තියෙන possibility එක වැඩි වෙනවා. Okay, improper use of land in mountainous areas. So when we use mountainous areas in an improper way, okay, this also causes landslides. Insufficient research before doing constructions. Okay, so when we construct buildings in mountainous areas without doing proper research prior to the construction, then also landslides could occur. See these diagrams, they have built these houses in a very improper manner. They have constructed these houses stuck together like matchboxes. See, so if something happens, if there's incessant rain and if they have constructed these buildings without prior approval, obviously these areas also could be subjected for landslides. Okay, blocking of natural waterways. Okay, when we block natural waterways, then they have no path to flow. Then what happens? They flow wherever they can. Then also when these waterways are blocked, that also can loosen the soil. Okay, when water flows somewhere, then soil becomes loosened. That also causes landslides. Storing of water in highlands. Okay, so when we store water in highlands, the pressure and also the storage or the fact that the water is stored in this area also could cause landslides. Okay, so these are the human activities that cause landslides. Okay. Then let's see the districts of Sri Lanka where earth slips occur frequently. See, Matale, Kandy, Kegol, Ratnapura, Nuwara, Kalutara, Gol, Matara, Badulla. So almost all these areas belong to the wet zone. Okay, so these districts frequently experience earth slips. Okay. Then damages from earth slips. Loss of lives and property, obviously we know. Okay, we may lose our lives or our property will be destroyed when we experience earth slips. Destruction of cultivated land. See, this cultivated land is destroyed by landslides. Water bodies become shallow and canals are blocked. So when rock boulders, rock particles block the waterways, they become shallow and also they are blocked. Destruction of infrastructure facilities. See, this house is going to be destroyed with rock particles that comes along with landslide. Okay? And impairment of normal life. So when our lives are, when our loved ones are lost, when our houses are destroyed, when our cultivated lands are destroyed, then obviously our normal life is impaired. It's අපේ සාමාන්‍ය ජීවිතය අඩාල වෙනවා. හරි? මේ විදිහේ විවිධ damages වෙන්න පුළුවන් අපිට අපි මේ නාය යෑම් වලට මුහුණ දෙනකොට. හරි? So this is about earth slips. Okay, hope that's clear for you. Now let's move to cyclones. Okay, සුලි සුළං. නැත්නම් storms කියලා අපි කියනවා. Cyclones or storms or in Sinhala සුලි සුළං. Okay. This is less likely that we experience cyclones when we compare to the possibility of experiencing landslides. Okay, so this is less likely, but still on and off we experience cyclones in Sri Lanka as well. Okay, so this is the definition for cyclones. A hard blowing wind while spinning fast in a swirl is known as a cyclone or a storm. Okay? A hard blowing wind. Okay? ඉතාමත් තද්දට හමන සුළම් පහරක්. While spinning, what is spinning? This is spinning. Okay? This is spinning. It moves in a circular motion. Okay? While spinning fast, very fast, in a swirl. This is a swirl. Okay? Swirl is known as a cyclone or a storm. Okay? This is a cartoon diagram of a cyclone. Okay, now let's see how cyclones do occur. Okay? High temperature in tropical zone and development of low pressure centers influence the origin of cyclones. So there are two basic reasons. First one, high temperature in tropical zone and low occurrence of or development of low pressure centers in these areas cause cyclones. Okay, what's a tropical zone, Puta? Tropical zone as in the basically the area or above and below the equator in Earth. Okay, when it if we just this is not the equator, if we imagine this is the equator, okay, an area above the equator and below the equator is called as a tropical zone. So usually cyclones occur in tropical zone. Sometimes there could be cyclones in other areas as well, but usually this happens in um, tropical zone. Okay, so Sri Lanka is a country located in the tropical zone. Okay, due to the influence of the low pressure centers at the Bay of Bengal, Sri Lanka is affected by cyclones frequently. Okay, so now if you follow news, okay, you may have heard බෙන්ගාල බොක්කේ කැළඹීමක් නිසා අද දිනේදී තද සුළං සහ තද වැසි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා නිවුස් වලට කියන අහලා තියෙනවද? ඒ මොකද මේ බෙන්ගාල බොක්ක කියන මේ ප්‍රදේශය තුළ ඇතිවන ලෝ ප්‍රෙෂර් සෙන්ටර්ස් නැත්නම් අඩු පීඩන කලාපත් එක්ක ඒ බලපෑමත් එක්ක මේ බෙන්ගාල බොක්ක තියෙන ඉන්න මේ ඒරියා එකේ. Okay, this is the bay. This is the bay and we call this as Bay of Bengal. Bangladesh is somewhere here. Okay, the country called Bangladesh is somewhere here, so this is called Bay of Bengal. So when low pressure centers occur in this Bay of Bengal, this affects Sri Lankan climate weather as well. Okay, so due to this reason, we usually experience cyclones. Okay. Now let's see the districts where cyclones affect in Sri Lanka. Okay. Cyclonic winds enter Sri Lanka from eastern and northeastern coasts and exit from northwestern coast. Now let's see what are eastern and northeastern coast. Okay, so eastern as in this area. Okay, නැගෙනහිර දිස්ත්‍රික්ක සහ north eastern ඊසාන දිශාව ඊසාන සහ නැගෙනහිර දිශාව ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ඊසාන සහ නැගෙනහිර දිශාවේ තියෙන මේ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක වලින් තමයි මේ cyclonic winds නැත්නම් සුළි වලින් එන මේ සුළි ඇතුල් වෙන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට මෙන්න මේ ප්‍රදේශ වලින් මේ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක තමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ ප්‍රදේශ වලින් තමයි සුළඟ ඇතුල් වෙන්නේ and they exit from northeastern coast as in this area. Okay, so these cyclonic winds enter from this area and they exit Sri Lanka from northeastern coast. Okay, so as a result, districts in eastern and northeastern areas are highly affected by cyclones. So these districts, what are these districts? Jaffna, Vavuniya, Trincomalee, Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Batticaloa, Ampara. So these areas could occasionally experience cyclonic winds. සුළි සුළං වලට මුහුණ දෙනවා ඒ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක වල ඉන්න පුද්ගලයින්. හරි. Now let's see the damages that are caused from cyclones. Okay, massive loss of lives and property due to the heavy rains and strong winds. Okay, so when cyclonic winds come, along with these cyclonic winds, heavy rain also could occur. Okay, so due to this heavy rain and strong winds, massive loss of lives and property can happen to the people. Destruction of cultivations, breaking down of infrastructure facilities such as electricity, transport due to fall of trees and heavy wind. So when there's heavy wind and heavy rainfall, electricity wires could fall down. Okay, so then telephone lines and electricity supply could be damaged. It could be impaired. Okay, so our infrastructure facilities also can be kind of damaged, impaired due to cyclones. Okay, and sometimes cyclonic winds occur. It causes flood as well. Okay, so flooding of sea in coastal areas. So along with this heavy wind, sea water do come to the land. Okay, then flooding of sea could occur in coastal areas. This also could cause damage to the people's lives and property. Okay, so these, look into these diagrams. Due to this cyclonic winds, see these trees have fallen down, and this tree has fallen onto a three-wheeler. Okay, so if there were people in it, obviously they could die, loss of lives. And see, this house is getting to be destroyed from cyclonic winds. And here you see flooding of sea in coastal areas, um, and also due to heavy wind and also due to flooding of seawater. This coastal area, the people in coastal areas have experienced due to various damages due to this occurrence, cyclonic winds. Okay, so then that's about damages from cyclones. So I hope today's lesson was clear. So basically in this video I discussed about earth slips and cyclones. හරි, අපි අද පාඩමේදී කතා කරේ දරුවනේ earth slips නැත්නම් ආයම් සහ සුලිසුලන් ගැන. හරි, hope today's lesson is clear for you. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, and if you do have any comments to make on my videos, please share them with me. Feel free to uh, give your comments in my comment section, or else um, you can email me with your questions as well. And so if you feel like my videos are helpful for you for your studies, don't forget to subscribe and do like as well. So thank you for watching. Let's meet again with another interesting video. Okay, see you soon.